An author and Mobile native is sharing her story about being adopted, then donating a kidney to a member of her birth family. Liz Story is having several book signings here in Mobile, and Liz is here with us this morning along with her Aunt Nell and her daughter, Annabella. Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And you do have quite the story. You were adopted from Mobile, raised in Arkansas. You joined the Army, then you moved to Florida, and you found your birth mother. So how old were you when you were adopted?
I was only 6 weeks old when I was adopted, and I learned that I was adopted in the 4th grade.
So now, did you support her mother's decision?
Absolutely, yeah. I love the decision that she made. Obviously, it was a good one.
Yeah, you guys have been reunited now, and I know you can tell you're all very happy at this point.
Yes.
And I'm sure there are some parents who are watching right now who have adopted a child or adopted children. So my question to you is, you were adopted so young. What was it like, and how did your adoptive parents tell you that they weren't your birth parents? They are not your birth parents. How did they tell you, and what was your reaction?
My mother was, bless her heart, was so great. She sat down with me one day. I was playing the piano, and she sat down next to me on the bench and just put her arm around me and said, you know, I want to tell you how special you are. And told me how that out of all the little babies and boys and girls, they chose me to be their daughter. And that's how she opened it. And I was just amazed and excited. I was so very happy. I couldn't wait to get to school the next morning and tell all my friends, who of course didn't know anything about adoption, didn't know what I was talking about. We had a great, yeah, it was amazing.
And how old were you?
I was in the 4th grade.
In the 4th grade, and you took it very well.
Yes.
Now, when did you decide, I want to find my birth mom?
Pretty much at the same moment she told me I was adopted, and only because I was just very curious about her. I wanted to know where I got my blue eyes and my features.
Sure.
I just needed to know what she looked like. So at that point I knew I wanted to find her someday.
And how did you?
I hired a private investigator. Thankfully, the state of Alabama had opened their birth records by this point, so I had an original birth certificate, and I hired an online private investigator who found her less than a month later because obviously she was still in the area, and it was quite easy for them to find her.
What was the meeting like when you met your mom and you met the rest of your family members?
Well, I met my birth mother first, and when she opened the door and we laid eyes on each other for the first time, it was truly like old friends coming together again. It was not awkward. It wasn't crying and boo-hooing and emotional. We felt very natural and like we were coming together again.
Now, then shortly after you found out your aunt was sick. Nell, tell us a little bit about that.
I have polycystic kidney disease. I inherited it from my father. And I learned in '97 that one day I would need a kidney transplant. And about 3 years ago, the time came, and Liz stepped up, and she was a match. And it's been an amazing thing to happen to me and to my family. And I'm very thankful and grateful to her.
And I'm sure you're proud of your mom.
Yes, of course. I was extremely worried when she had gone because I was only about 10, so it did worry me, but of course everything turned out fine. So.
Absolutely. And your book, A Series of Extreme Decisions, an adoptee's story. This is your basically life story you've written, and you're going to be here signing your book. You're going to be here the next 3 days.
Yes.
All right, so you can meet Liz a few places, actually. Carpe Diem off Old Shell Road, going to be this evening, tomorrow evening at the Serta Coffee Company, and Saturday at the Cream and Sugar Cafe in Oakley Garden District. And we have all the signing times listed for you there on your screen, and if you can't write them down fast enough, we have them on fox10tv.com on our Studio 10 page.